And if we're talking about that region, and then we revolve it about the x-axis, again, I kind of reflect it, and your pictures, might help you visualize it, and they might not. What I like to do is I like to say, all right, this would get revolved, and I'd have this whole circle I'd have to find the area of minus the HOLE. Let's do it. We know volume is always the area of the cross-section, and we've got to do whole minus the whole. The whole area minus the whole area. Okay, you guys, how am I going to find the whole radius if I know area of a circle is pi r squared? Pi r squared. Agreed. 1 is that upper function, right? Minus the HOLE. I'm going to put this one in green. Minus the HOLE's radius. I got to subtract this whole's area. Yeah, say that again, buddy. Yeah, so I'm going to say minus the sine of x squared. This is the pi r squared is the WHOLE minus the HOLE. Love it. Is that a setup statement that you see that they've given us? I'm getting rid of my 2 pi's. I don't like my 2 pi's. What's up, bud? I see it. This guy's missing a 1, are we right? D's missing a 1. It is E. What did they do? What is E's? Yeah, they just squared the 1. 1 squared is 1. And then this whole quantity is just to the dx. What's the difference over here? Yeah, this would have been whole minus HOLE squared, and that's not going to find me the area that's left. So it always has to be whole circle minus the inner circle. Cool. 3. If we're rotating about y equals -3, again, I know that they said y equals -3, but that's still parallel to the x-axis. So we're going to say dx. And we're going to go ahead and say pi, what would my whole radius be? Exactly. You guys, he's saying pi r squared. This r comes from upper minus lower. The lower is just what we're revolving around. Typically it's 0. It's been oftentimes been 0, so we've just done upper minus 0. We're just upper. But when it's something else, we're still going to just do minus lower. And in this case, that's really just like adding 3. We're adding 3 onto that radius, which we are. Okay, so that's going to find me the area of the whole circle. And then what would my HOLE be? What would its radius be? Sine of x squared plus 3? Is it still upper? This is now my upper minus my lower. And then we got to square it. Okay, let's go type this in. I'm going to let you guys know, what would our bounds be? Tell me what you think, where they would be found, and I'll tell you what they are, just to save us time.
It's just the intersection.
Yeah, this intersection, I'm going to let you know, is 0.765. We found that intersection before on a different part of this problem, 0 to 0.765. Go ahead and type that in, guys. Did anybody get, make sure you're in radians, 11.841. Okay, so now this, I'm putting things together, right? Here comes a question from 2015. I actually think we've done this exact one. Ooh, without a calc. How do I find just the area? This one's no longer talking about volume. Area. It's just the integral. It's just upper minus lower. Let me tell you why. Upper, if I found upper, that's going to get me blue. Minus lower is going to get me green. Blue minus green would leave me with this perfect pink, right? And by doing upper minus lower, that would get me pink line, and then blue, and then blue. It would get me all of these little lines. And when you add up all those lines infinitely, it's just going to get me the area of that flat shape. So area is always just upper minus lower. I just want to get all those little lines, put them together, and I'm going to have this flat surface. So what do you think my upper would be in this picture? Which one do you think is blue? Would you say root x or x over 3? Root x, agreed. Root x, and then I'm going to put in pink is x over 3. So what would be my upper minus lower? Blue minus pink or pink minus blue? Blue minus pink. Agreed. What would be my bounds? Good. 0 close. 0 to 9. Yep. But, Ritzy, could we have put this with respect to y and done pink minus blue and from 0 to 3? We could have, Ritz. If I were you, I would go ahead and rewrite this in terms, I'd get rid of my root x and I'd write that as x to the half before I take this integral. Antiderivative of x to the 1/2. Add 1 to the exponent, divide by my new exponent.
2/3 x over 3.
Perfect. Added 1 to my exponent, added 2/2 and divided by 3/2 to get 2/3. Minus x to the second over close 6, right? Because we had a 3 down there. We added 1 to that exponent, divided by a new exponent. Love it. Oh, got it. Perf. So you're at the same thing. From 0 to 9. Ugh. Okay, you guys, this is free response. Do we care what 9 to the 3/2 is? No, we don't. We're going to just go plug it in. Psh, 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 psh. We would have 2/3 9 to the 3/2 minus 9 squared over 6. Is that right? Then let's go look at this guy. This says, all right, now we've got this funky shape, and I'm going to go help us visualize this on the app. But it says, now we're revolving about y equals 4. You guys, y equals 4. Now this one's above it. This intersection is now above it. So I'm going to just kind of try to visualize, and actually the app doesn't let me revolve above it. So we're going to just visualize this without the app. If I were you, and again, I know you don't have too much space, and I apologize about that, I would, let me get rid of my stuff. Maybe my visual can help you enough. When we reflect this, then we revolve. Ritzy, would you say I have a gap? We definitely have a gap, meaning I have an HOLE. And we got this donut that we got to find the area of each cross section and add them up. So, couple different ways we can think about this. Our upper and our lower might vary, but it doesn't matter because area is pi r squared, squaring our radius. It doesn't matter which one you call upper and which one you call lower. Different things we could do. You could always visualize this as my upper and this as my lower to get my whole radius. Then I'm going to say green could be upper and black could be lower to get my HOLE's radius. You may be like, that's not upper and lower. I see something all the way up here. You're right, but I drew that in. So if you maybe had a hard time drawing that revolution, you might just want to stick with what they got. Upper is my line of revolution, and then lower is just the whole or the HOLE's radius. Which would you guys prefer? Do we want to start with this and go down? Or do we want to start once we've revolved it and purple's my upper and then line of revolution's my lower? I know, they're both hard. How many people have drawn this picture on their page? Because if you haven't, then I don't think we should do it that way. If you haven't drawn it, let's go with this. This is my upper, and then purple's my lower. Cool? Let's start with that. My upper is what in this case? What's that function? 4 minus, what function is this? Yeah, x over 3. That is my whole radius. That's going to give me this length. Pi r squared minus pi, what would be my HOLE's radius?
4 minus root x.
Perfect. 4 minus root x. If you forget the dx, they're still going to give you the points. On this one, it is non-calculator. Brutal. Hi, Miss Meister. You guys, let's go do without a calc. Part A. without a calculator part A, you've got to figure out which one's F and which one's G. Which one would be pink and which one would be purple? We do want to know because we got to know what upper minus lower. You're saying I got a nice old parabola over here. That looks like 2x squared. And my 4 cosine starts with the amplitude. I dig it. Nice. Okay. So upper minus lower on this one looks like 4 cosine of 1/4 pi x minus 2x squared minus 6x plus 4 from 0 to 2. Okay, you guys. They're going to give you 1 or 2 points for that. Here comes this antiderivative that's going to be hard. I think that they'd give us 1 point for this, 1 point for the integral, 1 point for the answer. Whoo-wee! Okay. We can totally take that. 4 is just chilling. You're right. That could be in front of my integral, my constant.
Is that just like pi over 4x?
Yes, this is 1/4 pi is the same as I like these little shortcuts that we're taking. Get out of here.
If you took the 4 out, wouldn't it be applied to the...
Oh, touche, Dean. Touche. He's exactly right. That would be multiplying it out there. You're right. He's got to stay. Dean, thank you. That's like when we have our pi r squared. Yeah, out there. Good call, Dean. But could be rewriting 1/4 pi x as pi over 4x might help us instead of doing u sub later. Right. So let's just think. What's the derivative? Whose derivative is 4 cosine?
Just 4 sine.
Right? Isn't the derivative sine cosine? Yep. So we just get 4 sine. Here's the deal. We would need to use u sub y. We've got an inner of this function, and the derivative of that inner is not 1, right? So we'd have to go u sub. But what was that trick we talked about last week?
You can just, the reciprocal or whatever, you can put it out front.
So the derivative of the inner, just multiply by its reciprocal.
Yeah.
What is the derivative of this inner? Say that again. Yes. Yeah. So real fast, what's the derivative of this inner? Derivative of pi over 4x. Pi over 4. What's the reciprocal of that? 4 over pi. So multiplying by this is just a shortcut to take care of u sub. This just took care of u sub, meaning, and we leave our inner. You're like, what did she just do? I could go through and do u sub, but I just won't do that right now because we don't have enough time. Whenever the derivative of the inner is not 1, find its derivative, multiply by its reciprocal, and we've taken care of u sub. The way for you to check, is this derivative what I started with? Well, let's see. This would be right here, 16 over pi, right? Okay. And you don't have to write this step, but I just want to check, is this derivative what I started with? Well, my 16 over pi would just stay because it's constant. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine. Leave my inner. Times the derivative of the inner. What's the derivative of that inner? Pi over 4. Does this pi cancel out with that pi? This 16 divided by 4 turned into a 4. And I'm left with what I started with. Whew. That's a toughie. Okay. So we did get my integral.
What's like the point of u sub then? Just do that.
There can okay, integral, I'm going to just say minus parentheses, antiderivative of 2x squared, 2x to the 3 over 3 minus 6x to the 2 over 2, so that'd become 3x squared plus 4x from 0 to 2. You guys, we're going to go plug in those upper bounds minus plugging in those lower bounds. I'm going to throw in the 0 just because it's got trig involved, even though I know the sign of 0 is 0, but you might forget that. So if I were you, I would say 4 over pi. Whoops, that doesn't look like a pi. 4 over pi times 4 sine of pi over 4 times 2 minus 2 times 2 cubed over 3 minus 3 times 2 squared plus 4x just for the sake of time, I'm actually not going to write minus 0 because it is going to be minus 0. Whoo!